Hey guys, today I want to talk about 10 things you can go declutter right now. I'm Aylin, and welcome to my channel Slice of Light, where I talk about simple living, building an empowering mindset, and a little bit about photography and videography. So the first category of items to declutter are items that are associated with a particular event or time in your life. If you're nostalgic and you've been saving a lot from college, or maybe it's your wedding or your graduation, but you really don't need that many objects to remind yourself of that time, think about what you could get rid of and what you might not miss. I know I've kept way too many votive candles for my wedding, and it's time to go through that stuff. Second, go through your fridge and get rid of any extraneous old items. I know that when I go in my fridge, I always end up finding some kind of like old sauce or condiment that is likely way past its last leg. And so just see if there are a bunch of things in your fridge that you can just throw out. I definitely think having a cleared out clean fridge is just such a good feeling. Next, go through your beauty products. If there are items that you haven't used in the last month or even the last 6 months, maybe it's a sign it's time to let them go. Fourth, get rid of books that are no longer relevant to you. I have the tendency to hold on to books because I think that books are knowledge, and I know I grew up in a household where we had wall-to-wall bookshelves, and I actually really loved the coziness of being surrounded by all these ideas. And so I think that I've had a hard time getting rid of books, but if I'm honest with myself and I go through my bookshelf, usually there's at least 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 books that I know I haven't read in a few years and I'm likely not to read for the next 5 to 10 years. And those are that sweet spot of letting go of those books and moving on. Maybe sharing it with a friend or donating it somewhere for somebody else who might enjoy it. Fifth, and if you're like me, you'll know what I'm talking about, is backup underwear and socks. Forgive me if you're one of those people that is good about decluttering your underwear, but I mean, honestly, don't we all have that 1 to 3 pairs of underwear that just like you avoid wearing at all costs because they're uncomfortable or they look weird or they're bunchy or they've got something wrong with them, and you only wear them when you're so out of clean laundry that you're like desperate and you have to wear it? Just get rid of it. Because if you don't have those last 1 to 3 pairs, you'll find a way to do laundry sooner. It's just not worth the space. Another one is old candles or decorative doodads that you might find on shelves or surfaces that you initially thought might bring some energy to the room, but you've realized you've kind of forgotten they're there and they don't really serve you much purpose. If you have anything like that, that's an easy thing to quickly declutter and you'll forget it was even there. This next one is one that I personally have really struggled with, and that's decluttering gifts that you've been keeping out of obligation. Often guilt can be a powerful emotion in keeping us from decluttering things that we really don't need or even want, because there's some reason that we could be holding onto it or should be using it in some way. But if the item isn't bringing you joy anymore, which is probably the purpose of the gift in the first place, I think that person would probably forgive you for getting rid of it. The next one is to get rid of magazines or old mail that you really no longer need. The 9th category of items is to go through all your categories of clothing and just quickly pick out one item that is your least favorite or least used. Because probably in every clothing category, there's at least one item that you know you just like obviously don't use, and that one is often the easiest to declutter, so you could just go to your closet and do that right now. And my final idea is to go through your kitchen and figure out at least one appliance or spatula or something or other that you use so infrequently it's really not worth the space. I think a good example for me is I always have way too many oven mitts, but they're super bunchy and they take up a lot of space. So find something in your kitchen that you really don't use that much anymore and just chuck it. So this video was just an initial brainstorm, ideas to spark more ideas for what to declutter, but I think the biggest first thing you can do is just go try decluttering. So if you've got that on your mind, go declutter something. You might feel good about it. Thanks so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.